with a joke at his wife Blake Lively's expense.
Blake Lively is making headlines.
Damn!
Not for a blockbuster role or a major endorsement deal, but for taking legal action against Saturday Night Live.
Just like Justin Baldoni saying, I'd love to work with Blake again.
If they went on SNL and honestly, if they weren't even part of the skit, if they just walked the carpet, sat there, fine.
The lawsuit, which demands $80 million in damages, is not just about a joke. It's about the boundaries of comedy, the power of public perception, and the impact of a single televised moment on an A-list celebrity's career.
He must not have loved seeing Colin Jost come back to Saturday Night Live last night.
Hollywood thrives on controversy, and while SNL has mocked countless celebrities over the years, something about this particular situation has pushed Lively to take a stand. The industry is watching closely, because if she succeeds, this case could shift the way late-night television operates, setting a new precedent for how public figures respond to comedic ridicule. If she fails, it could be a costly misstep that affects not only her legal standing, but her future in entertainment as a whole. The controversy started with what seemed like an ordinary weekend update segment, a staple of Saturday Night Live's format, where news is delivered through satire, often at the expense of celebrities. Colin Jost, one of the show's most recognizable anchors, made a remark about Justin Baldoni wanting to work with Blake Lively again. On the surface, it appeared to be a harmless, offhanded comment, just another quick joke in a long-running tradition of poking fun at Hollywood's elite. But the reaction it generated suggested otherwise. Instead of the usual burst of laughter that follows an SNL punchline, there was hesitation in the audience. A split second of uncertainty that made it clear some people weren't sure whether they were supposed to laugh at all. That moment of hesitation spoke volumes. For the audience, the joke wasn't just another throwaway line. It felt charged, as if it carried a hidden meaning that only those familiar with the deeper layers of Hollywood gossip could fully understand. Jokes on SNL typically land with ease, but this one had an undercurrent of something different. A personal edge that made it feel less like satire and more like a deliberate jab at Lively. It was as if the show had just casually slipped an inside secret into the mainstream, leaving the audience wondering whether they had just been given a glimpse into something they weren't supposed to know. And in the digital age, moments like that don't just disappear, they spread like wildfire.
Blake Lively claims tailored win, Justin Baldoni. Remember when we told you last week the breaking news that Justin had a big win and Blake lost? Blake didn't get what she requests, which were completely overreaching records.
Within minutes, social media erupted. Twitter users began dissecting the moment, posting slow-motion replays of the audience's reaction, analyzing Jost's tone, and questioning whether the remark was spontaneous or premeditated. On Reddit, speculative threads began connecting dots that had long been buried, with users bringing up past interviews, rumored on-set tensions, and unexplored connections between Lively and Baldoni. Instagram gossip pages latched onto the clip, amplifying it with captions that hinted at scandal, while TikTok users turned the moment into a series of viral videos, each one offering a different interpretation of what the joke really meant.
He retained the service of Melissa Nathan, who represented Johnny Depp during the Amber Heard trial.
But it wasn't just fans fueling the speculation. Entertainment journalists jumped on the story, using it as an opportunity to dig up old headlines and revisit past rumors that Lively had worked hard to distance herself from. What had once been dismissed as mere Hollywood whispers, stories of tensions, professional rivalries, and unspoken fallouts, were now being re-examined under a different light. Suddenly, the name Justin Baldoni was trending alongside Blake Lively's, and people were no longer talking about her latest projects. They were debating her personal life, her industry relationships, and why this joke seemed to strike such a nerve. For Lively, this was a nightmare scenario. Hollywood careers are built on carefully maintained public images, and Lively had always been strategic about how she was perceived. Graceful, polished, effortlessly likable. But in a matter of hours, that control was slipping away.
Then, Blake's lawyers quote Steve Sarowitz, who runs Wayfarer Studio, is partners with Justin, and quote him as saying, "I will protect the studio like Israel protected itself from Hamas."
She wasn't driving the conversation anymore. She was at the center of it, but powerless to shape how it unfolded. It wasn't just about whether the joke was funny or not. It was about what it implied, what it resurfaced, and what it revealed about how much control a celebrity truly has over their narrative. This wasn't the kind of controversy that would fade in a day. The internet had already latched onto it, and now, whether she liked it or not, the story was growing bigger than the joke itself. As the clip gained traction, Ryan Reynolds found himself unexpectedly entangled in the fallout. He had made a surprise appearance on the show, participating in a comedic bit that should have been nothing more than a playful moment. But when asked how he was doing, his casual, joking response, "Great, why, what have you heard?" was interpreted as something else entirely. Online discussions quickly reframed his words as a subtle acknowledgement that there was, in fact, something to be concerned about. Instead of helping to diffuse the situation, his presence on the show added another layer to the controversy, giving people more material to analyze and discuss. If Reynolds was laughing along with the joke, did that mean Lively was overreacting? Was there a hidden meaning behind his response? The internet thrives on speculation, and suddenly, the focus wasn't just on Lively's reaction, it was on the dynamics between her and her husband, whether or not he supported her decision to fight back, and what his reaction said about their public image as a couple. The lawsuit, which was filed shortly after the incident, argues that the joke was intended to damage Lively's reputation, portraying her in a way that could negatively impact her career.
I think they're both pretty narcissistic, but in different manners. I think he kind of runs the show. Honestly, when I was reading that amended lawsuit last night,
Legal experts have pointed out that defamation cases involving satire are difficult to win, as courts have historically ruled in favor of free speech when it comes to comedic content. SNL's defense is expected to center on this, arguing that the joke falls within the realm of protected satire and that Lively's response is an overreach. However, her legal team is taking a different approach, emphasizing that this was not simply a joke, but a calculated move that exploited personal details from her life to create a viral moment. The case raises important questions about the limits of comedy, the responsibility of entertainment networks, and whether celebrities have any real power to push back when they feel they've been unfairly targeted on a national platform. As the lawsuit gained media attention, Hollywood's reaction was mixed. Some industry insiders voiced quiet support for Lively, believing that comedians and talk shows have become too aggressive in using celebrities' personal lives for entertainment. Others, however, saw the lawsuit as a risky move that could backfire. The entertainment industry operates on public perception, and lawsuits of this nature often lead to unintended consequences. While Lively's team is working to control the narrative, ensuring that the focus remains on the alleged harm caused by SNL's joke, critics have pointed out that by suing the show, she has only amplified the situation. What might have been forgotten in a week has now turned into a major Hollywood controversy, with every development being closely followed by entertainment news outlets and fans alike. Lively's decision to hire Nick Shapiro, a crisis manager with a background in high-profile media disputes, further fueled speculation about how serious this battle really is.
I think Ryan is like the mastermind in this. Blake Lively is not innocent by any means.
Shapiro's reputation for managing high-stakes PR crises suggests that this isn't just about getting an apology or a financial settlement, it's about ensuring that Lively comes out of this battle with her public image intact. But some have questioned whether the aggressive PR strategy is working in her favor. The longer the lawsuit drags on, the more scrutiny she faces, and the more Hollywood insiders begin to distance themselves from the situation. Industry politics are delicate, and while many will privately sympathize with her, few will want to risk openly taking sides in a legal battle against one of television's most powerful institutions. Meanwhile, SNL is showing no signs of backing down. The show thrives on controversy, and this lawsuit has only given them more material to work with. Historically, the program has never issued public apologies for celebrity backlash, and there's no indication that they plan to start now. If anything, the legal battle has given the show even more attention, with viewership numbers spiking as people tune in to see if they'll address the lawsuit in upcoming episodes. If Lorne Michaels and his team decide to respond through comedy, the situation could escalate even further, turning into a long, drawn-out war of narratives between a Hollywood actress and a television institution with decades of influence. For Lively, the stakes couldn't be higher. If she wins the lawsuit, she doesn't just walk away with financial compensation. She sets a precedent that could change the way late-night television treats celebrities. It would signal that public figures have more power to fight back when they believe their reputation has been harmed by comedic content. But if she loses, it could be a costly mistake. It would reinforce the idea that celebrities have little control over their public perception, and worse, it could make her appear overly sensitive in an industry where thick skin is often seen as a requirement for longevity.
But the joke, that part, that just really, I don't think it sit well with most of the people. Like,
Losing this battle could affect her future roles, her relationships with major studios, and her standing within Hollywood's elite circles. The case remains ongoing, and the industry is waiting to see how it unfolds. In a world where social media drives public perception, where entertainment networks hold immense influence, and where a single joke can spark national controversy, this lawsuit is about more than just a Saturday Night Live sketch. It's about power, reputation, and the lengths celebrities will go to in order to protect their image. Whether Lively emerges victorious or not, the fact that she has taken this battle to court speaks volumes about how deeply the moment affected her, and about how much the landscape of Hollywood has changed in the era of digital scrutiny and instant reaction. What happens next could set a new precedent, one that will be watched closely by celebrities, media executives, and entertainment lawyers alike. Whether she's making a bold stand or a costly mistake remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: this fight is far from over.